Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's presentation titled Comparing ACS Income and Poverty Estimates with SAIPE. My name is Ryan Rishardi, and I am a statistician for the American Community Survey Office at the U.S. Census Bureau. I am joined today by Amelia Ingram, a survey statistician who works in the Social, Economic, and Housing Statistics Division at the Census Bureau. Together, we are going to share information with you today about income and poverty estimates available from both the American Community Survey, or ACS, and the Small Area Income and Poverty Estimates, or SAIPE program. If you have questions during the webinar, please submit them using the Slido feature here in WebEx, and our colleagues will try to answer them in real time. The PDF version of the slides is available at the link shown here. Also, today's webinar is being recorded and the recording will be available online after the webinar. Before we talk about the ACS, let's start with a quick overview of the U.S. Census Bureau as a whole. The Census Bureau is the largest primary federal government statistical agency. Our mission is to serve as the nation's leading provider of quality data about its people and economy. We strive to provide the most up-to-date, useful, quality data and products. Many people are familiar with the once every 10-year census, also known as the decennial census, but we also conduct more than 130 censuses and surveys of households and businesses across the nation each year. This includes the American Community Survey and more than 30 other household surveys. There are also over 60 economic programs, with the economic census being the largest and most comprehensive. There is also information on our nation's public sector provided by the Census of Governments. Let's now go over today's agenda. During the first part of today's webinar, I will be going over the basics of the American Community Survey, or ACS, including how the data are collected, the topics included, the geographies covered, and some specific details about the survey questions used to generate income and poverty estimates. Then, I will explain the types of tables, data products, and data access tools available for the ACS. This will include a live demonstration. Next, I will turn the presentation over to my co-presenter, Amelia, who will begin the Small Area Income and Poverty Estimates, or SAIPE, portion of this presentation. She will similarly explain the basics of the SAIPE program, and she will do a live demonstration of how to access SAIPE data. Finally, Amelia and I will conclude the webinar by providing you with a summary and resources to learn more and connect with us. The ACS is the premier source of detailed information about the nation's people and housing. The survey samples approximately 3.5 million addresses each year and 150,000 group quarters residents. These data are collected continuously throughout the year to produce annual social, economic, housing, and demographic estimates for communities throughout the 50 states, DC, and Puerto Rico. The estimates cover more than 40 topics. The ACS collects this detailed information each year that was previously collected by the decennial census each decade. Information from the ACS generates data that help inform how trillions of dollars in federal funds are distributed each year, supporting more than 300 known federal uses and countless non-federal uses. ACS data are timely because they were released the year immediately following the year in which they are collected. The ACS creates period estimates, which means they represent the characteristics of the population and housing over a specific data collection period. The ACS releases estimates for 1-year and 5-year periods. After years of extensive testing, the ACS was fully implemented in 2005. The first ACS 1-year estimates were collected in 2005 and released in 2006. The first 5-year ACS estimates were collected between 2005 and 2009 and released in 2010. The content collected by the American Community Survey can be grouped into 4 main types of characteristics: social, economic, demographic, and housing. This table displays the 4 categories of ACS data. Within population, data can be grouped into social, economic, and demographic. Social characteristics include topics like educational attainment, language spoken at home, and veteran status. Economic characteristics include such topics as income and earnings and poverty, as well as topics like industry and occupation. The American Community Survey also collects basic demographic characteristics. And lastly, housing is its own category in orange on the right here. Housing includes topics like computer and internet use, housing costs, and three new topics added in the 2025 survey: electric vehicles, solar panels, and public sewer connectivity. Data for these new topics are planned to be released later this year with the one-year ACS data products. These topics are used to produce more than 1,000 tables each year. You can find pre-made ACS tables on topics found on this slide for many levels of geography, from bigger geographies like states and counties down to smaller geographies like census tracts and block groups. The Census Bureau has a Why We Ask webpage series where we dive into why the ACS asks each question. One of these pages is the Why We Ask About Income page, which explores why we create income and poverty estimates. It also includes screenshots of the exact questionnaire given to households. This page also includes descriptions of how this income data is used to help communities and links to recent ACS income tables and infographics. This page is a great resource to learn more about income and poverty ACS data. Here are questions 43 and 44, which are the questions used to generate income and poverty data from the ACS. As you can see, the questions are quite detailed. In box 43A, we ask for wage, salary, commissions, bonuses, and tip money from the past 12 months for the population 15 years and over. And in the following boxes, we gather even more detailed data, such as self-employment income, income from interest and dividends, Social Security income, public assistance or welfare payments, and retirement income. Then in question 44, we ask for the person's total income, which is calculated from the responses to the detailed questions asked in questions 43. These detailed data allow the Census Bureau to tabulate estimates based on each of these income types and the aggregate of all of them. From these data, along with data on family size and age, we also calculate poverty estimates. It is important to note that some sources are not included as income, such as capital gains, money received from the sale of property, the value of income in kind from food stamps, public housing subsidies, and more. For a complete list of what is included and excluded in income and poverty calculations, check out the list of resources at the end of this webinar. Along with the numerous topics covered, the ACS also provides data for more geographies on an annual basis than any other household survey. The image on this slide shows some of the geographies for which ACS data are produced and the relationship between them. Lower geographic areas fit neatly within the larger areas directly connected with lines. For example, school, congressional, and state legislative districts fit neatly within states and do not cross state boundaries. However, they may cross boundaries of counties or metropolitan areas. In this visualization, you can also see the smallest geographic building block is the block group that includes between 600 and 3,000 people each. This unique ability to report on a wide range of geographies is a big appeal of the ACS. The ACS provides three main data products: the one-year supplemental, and 5-year estimates. These data products are released about 1 year after the data are collected. ACS data are generally released in September, the calendar year after collection, as 1-year estimates, in October, the calendar year after collection, as 1-year supplemental estimates, and 5-year estimates are generally released in December, the calendar year after collection. ACS 1-year estimates combine data collected over 12 months and are available for geographic areas with a population of 65,000 or more. ACS 1-year supplemental estimates are a subset of detailed tables available for geographic areas with populations of 20,000 or more. ACS 5-year estimates combine data collected over 60 months and are available for geographic areas of all sizes, from block groups all the way up to nation. Here is a county map that shows you which releases are available for different parts of the country. In this map, the counties shaded dark blue receive 1 year supplemental, and 5-year estimates. These are counties with a population of 65,000 or more. The lighter blue counties receive 1 year supplemental and 5-year estimates. These are counties with a population of 20,000 or more, while the yellow counties only receive 5-year estimates. These are counties with a population below 20,000. So it's important to pay attention to which estimates are available for which geography. As you can see, there are lots of counties in the Northeast that meet the 65,000 population threshold, which means you can get the latest 1 year data each year. However, counties in the Dakotas and down to North Texas are shaded yellow, so those counties only have 5-year estimates available. However, for counties shaded in yellow, once combined into a larger population geography like a state, the state itself will receive the 1 year data due to meeting the 65,000 population threshold. All right, we just covered some basic information about the ACS, poverty, and data products and their release. Now, let's talk about ACS data access tools. In this section, I will conduct a live demonstration of a popular tool. We offer many different types of data products to meet the needs of our data users. Pre-tabulated profiles and tables are products that are already created for you. The data profiles are good places to start for novice data users, as they contain the most frequently requested social, economic, housing, and demographic data in a separate profile. The data profiles summarize the data for a single geographic area, providing both estimates and percentages to cover the most basic data on all ACS topics. Tables provide a precise or detailed view of a subject. They are the best source for the most comprehensive ACS tables. If you're not able to find an existing table to meet your needs, we also offer public use microdata sample or PUMS files that allow you to create custom tables. PUMS files contain a sample of individual records of people and households that responded to the survey, stripped of all identifying information, and they are best for data users with expertise in using statistical packages. The pre-tabulated tables and the microdata files can be accessed in a variety of ways. Here at the Census Bureau, we have created many different tools that present the data in useful ways. You may look at all the tools listed here and think, wow, those are a lot of tools. How do I know which one to use? And the answer is that it depends on what your data needs are. So you may be interested in straightforward statistical tables, in which case data.census.gov is probably best for you. Or you may want to combine weather data with ACS data, in which case On the Map for emergency management would be helpful to you. Or perhaps you're a developer looking to make your own dashboards using R or Python. In that case, you would want to use the Application Programming Interface or API. These are some of the most popular ACS data access tools. I will highlight and demonstrate one of them today. Data.census.gov is the Census Bureau's main data dissemination platform and is the primary way to access data from the American Community Survey. This website allows users to filter searches through topics or geographies, download data files, and create custom maps and charts. It includes ACS data from 2010 to the present. There are a variety of how-to materials, video tutorials, webinars, and FAQs to help you use data.census.gov. To learn more, please visit the links at the bottom of the slide. I want to now take some time to demonstrate data.census.gov. So I will jump to the live site right now. Okay. You would use this site if you wanted more than just basic statistics or cross-tabulated data for a large number of geographies. From the main page, you have several options. You could enter a geography or a topic directly in the search box here. You could also enter a table ID if you happen to know one. There is even an address lookup tool that allows you to enter an address and it returns all the geographies nested within that chosen address. Or you could click the Explore Filters button here, which is what I'll do. This takes you to the advanced page. You can see on the left nav here that there is an option to select your geographies, your topics, and there are other options for selecting your survey type and your year. Let's say I am interested in income data for Albuquerque, New Mexico. So at the Census Bureau, we call cities and towns places. So I will select place, then I will select New Mexico, then Albuquerque City, New Mexico. Then I will click the search button in the bottom right. This populates a list of tables, which may be helpful, but they are unfiltered, just all census tables. So let's filter to just income by going to the topics filter on the left, then selecting income and poverty, and then the income and poverty checkbox. Then the list of applicable tables will populate. Now you can see the table list contains all income and poverty tables. I am going to select the first option here, Table S1901, Income in the Past 12 Months. And when I open up the table view, you can find income by brackets, as well as median and mean income. You can also note that our table geography is set to Albuquerque City, New Mexico. Some tables have a wide view, so check to see if your table scrolls left and right. This one does, so by scrolling right, I can find income data for households, then families, then married couple families, and finally, non-family households. If you wanted to download this, you can click the download button here. You can also share the table or retrieve the API call, and there are a few other options as well. So this is the table view of S1901 income in the past 12 months for Albuquerque City, New Mexico. You could select any of the other tables listed here and a new table will appear. I want to showcase one more useful feature of data.census.gov, which is its mapping abilities. Let's say you wanted to see the variation of income within Albuquerque by census tract. We saw income statistics for the whole city, but now let's look at income variation within the city. Census tracts are small statistical subdivisions with the populations of between 1,200 and 8,000 people. They are the perfect geography for looking at statistics at the sub-place level. We can get this same table as 1901, but at the census tract level. To do so, let's go back to the filters panel on the left nav here, and then deactivate the city filter. And this time, we're going to select census tract, then New Mexico, and now I'm going to select this little plus sign at the top here for within other geographies. And then I will select place because we want all census tracts within a place, and our place is Albuquerque. So I'll select place. And then from this list, I will select Albuquerque City, New Mexico. Then I will select the first option for all census tracts fully or partially within Albuquerque City, New Mexico. Now that I have that selected, I'll go back to my table view. Now, the table will be too large to display in the browser, but that won't affect us because we want to view this in a map view. I will click the map icon here, and this brings me to the map tool. Now you can see all the census tracts we selected in blue here. Your selected variable will be at the top, you can notice that it is currently set to less than $10,000. And by checking out the legend here in the bottom left, you can tell that darker shades of blue have higher percentages of households making less than $10,000. But you could select another variable. I will do that now. I will click the drop-down menu. Then I am going to change the units at the bottom here to number, which unlocks the median and mean household income statistics. I will then select the option for median household income. And now our map has adjusted to display median household income by census tract. Again, looking at the legend, we can notice that darker shades of blue indicate higher median household income. If you click on any one of these census tracts, you will get the exact median household income for that census tract. If the blue is hard for you to see, or if you simply prefer a different color, you can edit the colors by clicking the colors icon with the paint can up here. I will change it to green. I can also overlay other geographies onto this map view. For example, I can click boundaries up here, then zip code tabulation area or ZICTA, and, and now zip code tabulation areas are displayed in purple. If you would like some data visualizations, there is the charts um, icon up here as well. You may have to click the three dots to see it. If you click on this, it will display data based on your chosen variable, which you can also edit. I will click sort by descending to find the census tracts, starting with the largest median household incomes and going down to the census tracts with the lowest median household incomes. And that is data.census.gov. This concludes my live demonstration portion, so I will jump back into the presentation now. And that is all for the ACS part of this presentation. Now I will turn it over to my co-presenter, Amelia. Amelia, it's all yours.
Thank you, Ryan, and hello, everyone. My name is Amelia Ingram, and I am a survey statistician in the Small Area Estimates branch, which resides in the Social, Economic, and Housing Statistics Division at the U.S. Census Bureau. Small Area Income and Poverty Estimates, or SAIPE, is a reimbursable program sponsored by the U.S. Department of Education for use in their Title I Part A allocation formula from the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965 and reauthorized under the Every Student Succeeds Act of 2015. SAIPE produces annual estimates of income and poverty statistics for all school districts, counties, and states. The Small Area Estimates branch has produced SAIPE estimates annually since the late 1990s. In 2023, SAIPE estimates were used to allocate over $18 billion in Title I funds to over 13,000 school districts for the 2025-2026 school year. The SAIPE program produces the following estimates at the state and county geographic levels: the total number of people in poverty, the number of children under age 5 in poverty for states only, the number of related children ages 5 to 17 in families in poverty, the number of children under age 18 in poverty, and median household income. Specifically for the Department of Education to implement provisions under Title I, SAIPE produces the following estimates at the school district level: total population, the number of children ages 5 to 17, and number of related children ages 5 to 17 in families in poverty. Next. SAIPE utilizes data from several Census Bureau products, including the 1-year and 5-year American Community Survey, population estimates, the decennial census. The current population survey was utilized up to 2004, and the school district review program, which updates school district boundaries and grade ranges every year. Additionally, SAIPE utilizes auxiliary data such as aggregated federal 1040 tax returns, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program or SNAP participation records, aggregated personal income and the proportion of total income from government transfers from the Bureau of Economic Analysis, and supplemental security income participation rates for ages over 65 at the state level. While the American Community Survey provides reliable income and poverty estimates for large areas such as states, smaller areas such as rural counties and school districts have sample sizes that are too small to provide reliable estimates. SAIPE uses a Fay-Harriott methodology to produce estimates that have less relative variability or higher precision than the ACS alone. This technique moderates the variability that arises in survey samples by borrowing strength from auxiliary data in the model. The combination of census and auxiliary data is also useful for funding purposes as it reduces dramatic swings in a school district's allocations from year to year. There are several ways to access SAIPE data, including the SAIPE datasets page, where you can download national and individual state text and CSV files, SAIPE reports, the Application Programming Interface, or API, SAIPE downloadable maps that are available for state, county, or school district levels of our estimates, SAIPE's animated map that lets users interact with a time series of childhood poverty from 2007 to the current year, the SNAP interactive tree map that lets users interact with SNAP participation rates by year, region, and state, and lastly, you can access SAIPE estimates through our SAIPE Income and Poverty tool. Now that we've covered SAIPE's inputs and output estimates, let's take a look at the SAIPE Income and Poverty Interactive tool in more detail. The SAIPE Income and Poverty Interactive tool can be accessed in any browser via the link at the bottom of this slide, or you can directly access the tool by using the QR code on the right side of the screen. And I'm going to share that right now. SAIPE's Income and Poverty Interactive Data Tool page provides income estimates for states and counties and poverty estimates for state, county, and school districts in an easy-to-use manner. The tool is separated into 4 panels: a navigation panel on the far left, a map in the center to visually compare rates geographically, a time trend chart at the top right, and a data table at the bottom of the page. Let's test out the interactive tool first by looking at median household income estimates for a state. We'll select median household income from the left navigation panel. For our demonstration today, we'll choose Maryland. You can scroll to find the state or just start typing in the name or abbreviation of the state. We now see MHI estimates for our selected state. The time trends panel on the right compares the historical state level median household income to national estimates. Also note that the confidence intervals are displayed both in the hover box on the time trends panel as well as in the table below. Next, let's find median household income estimates at the county level By selecting county from that left navigation panel, to select our county, we can first quickly navigate by typing in the state abbreviation into our filter. And then in the search box, start typing our county name. And for our purposes today, we'll choose Prince George's County. Select OK. And we now see the county outlined in red on the map and historical time trends of national, state, and county MHI estimates in the right panel. We can also compare the MHI rates with other counties by selecting them directly on the map. Let's compare the median household income of Prince George's County with Montgomery County to the west. If we click on that, Montgomery County is now added to our time trends panel, as well as the table in the lower panel. And we can find further details on the map's shaded income categories by clicking on the legend in the bottom left of that map. Next, let's conduct a search for poverty estimates in a state. First, we'll choose Clear Selections in the left-hand panel, and then choose our state. For this purpose, we will choose Mississippi. And we can next filter for an age group in the lower left navigation panel. And in this case, we will choose school-age children, which are ages 5 to 17 in families. The map, the time trend, and the data table are now filtered for estimated poverty in Mississippi among ages 5 to 17-year-old in families, which can be confirmed also by the header at the top on the blue bar. On the right, we can compare historical poverty estimates for the state and national estimates in the time trends panel. And if we hover over each line, you can see the estimate for that year and the confidence interval. Next, we can compare the selected state to neighboring states in the region by either adding the state in the left navigation filter or by hovering over the map to view details for each state. For example, we can now see Louisiana's poverty estimate at 24% in the pop-up on the map, as well as the confidence interval. Returning to our left filter panel, we can search for an individual county in Mississippi by selecting county from the filter just underneath the state option. And we can select the county we're interested in first by filtering for Mississippi and then our county name. In this case, we can start typing in Tallahatchie County and press OK. And Tallahatchie County's school-age poverty estimates will be added to the time trend panel, along with the handy table in the bottom panel. We can next look at poverty estimates within Tallahatchie County by school district. From the left navigation panel, we can select school district, filter for Mississippi, and then select our school district and start typing that. In this case, we'll choose East Tallahatchie School District. Press OK. And we now see poverty estimates in a second. For school-age children in the East Tallahatchie School District on our map in the time trends panel, as well as our bottom table. We can also hover over neighboring school districts to compare estimates. The bottom table also includes an estimate of total school-age population within that school district's boundaries. If we want to compare the current estimates with previous year estimates, we can use the year pull down to select additional years and add as many years as we'd like. Alternatively, we can add years to our bottom table by using the filter icon next to year. After selecting years, we can now download this table by clicking on the download icon in the upper left of that table panel. And the table can be saved in either Excel or in CSV format. And for convenience purposes, I've downloaded that here for us. The Excel format table, as you can see, has poverty estimates and the poverty ratio for the selected years, along with reference links to the school district boundaries map. Returning to our tool, next we can download a map by selecting the download button. Next, it's the icon in the upper left next to the map panel, and we can select the desired format, either PDF or JPEG. And again, for convenience, I can show you what that looks like. Here we go. So you can see in this version of the map, specifically the PDF version will give you a legend as well as a size scale, which can then be saved for later use. In the tool, we can also download the school district boundaries map using the links at the back of the tool, where you see that these map links at the bottom table. You can click on that, and this will bring up the Tiger Line database. By clicking on More Tools and GeoJSON, above the map, you can download a zip file of the map boundaries, or you can press Print in that same pull down to download a PDF version of the map. This is what that would look like. Finally, scrolling down to the bottom of the left panel, we can find direct links to the current year's SAIPE data sets, the SAIPE API, methodology pages, as well as another tool, the Snap Interactive Tree Map. We'll go back to Brian and your slides.
Okay, thank you, Amelia. And now I would like to close out this presentation with a concluding summary and some resources for learning more about the ACS and SAIPE. This slide is a repeat of what I showed regarding ACS earlier, but we've added an extra column for SAIPE for contrast. You can see that, like the 5-year ACS, SAIPE is available for all geographies, even below a 20,000 population size, but SAIPE is a 1-year estimate. Importantly, the scope of SAIPE is limited to just poverty and median household income, whereas the scope of ACS is quite broad. Drilling down a bit further, we can say the following. Whereas ACS 1-year supplemental, and ACS 5-year income estimates are available for all income brackets and median household income, or MHI, SAIPE income estimates are only available for MHI. Additionally, ACS poverty estimates are available for various income to poverty ratio, or IPR, ranging from under 50% to 500% or more. In contrast, SAIPE poverty estimates are only available at 100% IPR. Both ACS 5-year estimates and SAIPE are available for all areas, regardless of population size. In contrast, ACS 1-year estimates are only available for areas with a population size greater than 65,000, and the supplemental estimates are available for areas with population size greater than 20,000. Finally, ACS 1-year and 5-year are available for all demographics, whereas ACS 1-year supplemental estimates are available for some but not all demographics. In comparison, SAIPE estimates are available only by age. SAIPE is the only source of single-year estimates of poverty for all school districts. The best starting place for any ACS-related resources is the ACS website at census.gov/ACS. This website contains a wealth of information about the survey, data products, tools for data users, and other helpful information. For a deeper dive into income and poverty and the ACS, then check out the links shown here. As a reminder, the slides are posted online. The first link is for a census.gov blog post titled How the Census Bureau Measures Income and Poverty. The next link is a deeper dive into how the Census Bureau measures poverty specifically. It includes a step-by-step worked example of determining poverty status for a hypothetical family. The third link is for the latest ACS Subject Definitions Guide, the 2024 version, though older versions are also available. This document contains a detailed explanation of all subjects included in the ACS, including income and poverty. And finally, the last two links are not census.gov links, but they are nonetheless great resources. They are Census Reporter links to their income and earnings and poverty pages. Each page has a brief overview of the topic, and they include links to all income and earnings ACS tables and all poverty ACS tables. These are all great resources to learn more about the ACS income and poverty data. So please check these out and bookmark them if you find them helpful.
To learn more about SAIPE's income and poverty and to access our data, please use the following pages. For more information on how we create SAIPE estimates, take a look at our frequently asked questions or FAQs page. To learn more about our model inputs, follow the link on these slides or in our website to the About SAIPE Model Inputs page. Data access, tables, and the API are also available using the links on this slide to our site. Thank you, Ryan.
And before I wrap up, I wanted to invite you to keep in touch with us. One way is by sharing your ACS data story. This allows data enthusiasts across the country to share the creative ways they are using ACS data to make a difference in their community. If you have used ACS data for your community, organization, or business, consider submitting your story today. You may even have the opportunity to be featured on our website. You can also sign up for and manage email updates from us here at the ACS. Our events and updates email will alert you when new materials are available, and you'll stay updated on our data releases. In closing, let me share information on how to find answers and get support after this webinar concludes. You can learn more about the ACS and SAIPE on their respective census.gov web pages shown at the top left of this slide. If you have questions about how to access or understand ACS or SAIPE data, you can reach out to us by phone or by email at the contact information shown here. Census Academy has how-to data gem videos and in-depth courses, webinars, and tutorials. Also on the Census Academy page, you can request a training at no cost from our data dissemination specialists or DDSs. If you're on social media, connect with us at US Census Bureau using the hashtag ACSData. And lastly, if you use ACS estimates, please source the Census Bureau American Community Survey. Doing so helps people know that the information they're using is powered by the ACS. This concludes today's webinar on comparing income and poverty estimates with the ACS and SAIPE. Thank you for your time today.